Hey familia, welcome to In Your Business with Dr. Alex, where we get all up in your business and your health. And today I have an amazing guest, Miss Opal Germaine, and she is our experience curator. She is going to talk to us all about elevating your experiences and your events in your business. And I'm going to tell you, she got some good stuff that she's about to share today. So let me give a quick shout out to our sponsor today. His name is Mr. Eric McKee. We thank him so much for sponsoring In Your Business with Dr. Alex. I'm going to bring his info up on the screen quickly. So thank you. If you're in Northeast Ohio, definitely reach out to Eric for all of your realty needs. So I'm going to bring up my guest, and we're actually streaming to a couple different platforms. So as you jump on, feel free to say hello, ask any questions. We'd love to interact with you. And definitely, she's going to be sharing a lot of great information today. So we're going to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're going to all the places. So say hello to us. We'd love to say hello to you too. So I'm going to bring on my guest, Miss Opal Germaine. Here she is.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I was ready for the day. I was ready for this morning. Yes.
Oh, I love that. My morning was a little rough. My son, we took him to like the trampoline jumping park the other day, and he totally scratched up his nose, and now he's so self-conscious of
Oh
his
my God. So he probably didn't want to move, to stay in the house, don't want to be seen.
uh, I was like, it's time to go back to school today. He's like, no, my face. I said, they'll still love
Oh,
you.
yes, they will. They will. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. So, Miss Opal, why don't you tell our amazing audience here a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself, where you're from, what do you do, who you serve, all that good stuff.
Yes, yes. So my name is Opal Germaine. I am your client experience curator coach.
Mm.
Okay. And it's a big, long title, but to condense it down, I help you create client experiences that are elevated. Okay.
Mm.
A lot of times we've been in business for so long, we just kind of get used to the status quo. And so our clients get bored. New clients, they get bored. This is a great way to attract your ideal client. So the clients that I work with are highly successful business owners, women, majority women that I have some men I've worked with, but majority women that have been in the game for a while, and their processes need to be elevated from the moment
Mm.
they intake a client to one-on-one events with a session with a client to large seminars, you name it, any experience, anything that your client touches, I will elevate it for you. I'm from
Mm.
Beaumont, Texas. I'm right by Houston, Texas. So I am a Texas girl through and through. I believe in big, luxurious things. Everything's big in Texas.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, do you only do local events? Do you travel? What does that look like?
So yes, I travel a lot. I love to
Mm.
travel. I do VIP events as well. So,
Mm,
say you decide to work with me, I have VIP days. Well, I'll come to you and we'll hash it out during that day. But also, if you have an event that's coming up and you want to plan, we can do it virtually as well.
nice. And how have you seen this this space or this type of like having these really luxurious events? Have you seen this like kind of start to explode more, like the demand? Has the demand increased for stuff like this?
Oh, definitely. So think about this as women. When we go places, we have an expectation. We want to be treated with the red carpet service. It really doesn't matter where it's at, but we want to feel good. And it's
Mhm,
about how does your client feel when they're working with you? Um, Normally everybody in their own industry, they have tons of competition, right? So you have to figure out a way to set yourself apart from the
mhm,
competition. So this is one way that you can use this to your advantage to set yourself apart, right?
mhm,
Not only the information and the knowledge that you're giving to your client, but as well as the personal touches. um when we go to spas because they're attentive to you, they
mhm,
cater to you, right? We
mhm.
love that as women, right? We want to feel special. And so in everything I do, I want that in every experience. You can tell the difference in walking into, say, Forever 21 versus Nordstrom's.
Mm,
Difference in the
mhm,
treatment and the experience, the level, the up leveling of the experience. And so you should have that in your business. And it boils down to customer service as well.
mm.
That is a huge thing. So I hope I'm not rambling because I can go on and on about this stuff. I love it.
No, no, I love that you can expand on that so much. And I think that's something that a lot of women especially like take for granted, because I know for myself when women are coming to me about health related issues, and when it comes down to like the nitty gritty of like, well, let's get down and do the work, it's we don't want to take that time for ourselves. We don't want to invest in ourselves. We don't see ourselves worthy of like that more luxurious experience, when in reality that's what we're craving. That's what we really really want, but it's hard to say yes to that cuz all the shit we got up here going on and
Yes.
we don't want to lean into that.
Yes, and it's, honestly, that's a negative mind belief, a
Mhm.
mind block, because like you said, we feel like we're not worthy, but you are. You're
Mhm.
and I think it comes from your surroundings, people that you have around you as well
Mhm.
can feed into that. Oh, you don't need that. That's too expensive, or
Mhm.
that doesn't that's frivolous, or whatever they might say to try to
Mhm.
deter you from that up leveling. So when I create experiences, like I said, I break down the client. I pretty much deconstruct their process. I look at every angle of their process
Mhm.
with the client experience, because client experience is not just events, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I say we create experiences, not events. So it's not just and that's what I want to hit home. It's not just the webinar or the
Mhm.
brunch or the retreat. It's the entire intake process. From the moment you sit in front of that client, do you give them a welcome package? What's in your
Mhm.
welcome package? You
Mhm.
know, are you attentive to them, to their
Mhm.
needs at that time and readily available? What steps do you have in place? So it's the whole package, right? It's the whole
Mhm.
entire package of whatever program, whatever business you have. And I believe that sets apart. I tell people this too. This is another great example of a highly successful business. It's pretty much relatable because I think everybody goes to this business. But okay, so you have Chick-fil-A, right?
Mhm.
And you have
Yeah.
all these other chicken places, right? But you're
That
more likely to go to Chick-fil-A because number one, they're going to greet you with a smile,
Mhm.
right? They're going to greet you with
Mhm.
a smile. They're going to make you feel good, and they're going to have fast service, right? So mostly people go there just for the service, right? For the elevated
Mhm.
experience. Now that's on a little lower level. I know I'm just breaking it down, just kind of really sink in the difference in what a difference an experience can make. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so for me, I've done this my entire life since I was a little kid. I've watched my mother do this. She had dinner parties. entertain people. And so I was always underneath her, helping with that. So that's where the love and the passion came from entertaining to um, being attentive to other people's needs. I've had that since I was a little girl and I love it. And I've just translated that into everything I do. I work in excellence and I expect the people that I work
Mm-hmm.
with to work in excellence.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense for you to give subpar um, results or I can't really find the word, but it doesn't make any
Mm-hmm.
sense to do that when someone's paying you for a service,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
invested into your program or into your company. And I believe you should give them a high return on their investment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot about trust and the relationship. And I think too, when you go to events like that, like you're really like if you're the person like investing in your services, like if I was investing in your services, like I'm very trusting in you that you're going to create that experience that is going to be a reflection of me, right?
Right.
And a reflection of my brand and what and the reputation that I have with my clients or my invitees, whoever might be at this event. So yeah,
Right.
so there's a lot of trust there. Can you tell me a little bit about what I know you started speaking a little bit about, and this is something new that I didn't know about you though either, was you kind of spoke about those past parties and stuff and how that kind of shaped why you got into this. Can you talk a little bit maybe more about that and about why like that deeper because in this show we get up in your business, we get a little bit personal
Oh,
in the show, but what like what kind of feeling does that give you, like why, because we always have that why behind what we do, right? The why
yeah.
is so powerful. So
Yeah.
could you speak a little bit more about that, because I think that helps people relate to you as well, or to whoever, if you're owning a business and you are the brand of your business, like people want to know, why do you do what you do? Like, why should I care? Why should I trust you? So could you speak a little bit about that? Because I didn't know that about you. And I think that's so interesting. So I'd love to learn more about that.
Yes. So when I was speaking about my mom
Mm-hmm.
introduced this world to
Mm-hmm.
me and my siblings, um, I can remember her hosting dinner parties. If there was something, and she always volunteered to organize, to host whatever event it is. She loved to
Mm-hmm.
do that. So as a little girl, I looked up to my mom. So
Mm-hmm.
I would watch her prepare, decorate, putting the garnish on the platters.
Mm-hmm.
I picked that up. And when you see people walk in the room and their eyes like light up,
Mm-hmm.
that is the most, I don't even know how to explain it. It's emotional for me
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
I love to look at people's facial expressions. I
Mm-hmm.
know I have a great event by people's facial expressions when they walk in the room, right? I
Mm-hmm.
do. It's that first impression.
Yeah.
So, I watch people always request my mom to do things. Now, this wasn't her business or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is solely entertainment purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So I carried that on as a young woman, having dinner parties for friends, hosting
Mm-hmm.
events, and then I kind of, to my friends, became the event guru, I guess. So they would ask, my opinions, or I would help them plan. I'm very detail oriented, so I think
Mm-hmm.
about every detail. I go to events and I see the things I like and the things I don't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's your market research, guys. You must do that. That's a part of the
Mm-hmm.
program, and I teach you how to do that and what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
But so, growing up, I experienced all these events myself, but then I started to put them on as well
Mm-hmm.
as a host. And so, the feeling I get when people walk in the room, I don't want to just say it's magical, but it's really something special.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I can't, like I said, I could tell by their facial expressions. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not, like a gag or a gasp
Yes.
or their eyes light up, oh my God, they open their swag bag or their welcome packet, whatever
Mm-hmm.
time it is, um, they open it like, and they're enjoying it. That you're setting the tone, or the group of
Mm-hmm.
people you have in the room to network with. and you see them mixing and mingling and you see their faces, like, I'm like, oh yes, I invited the right people. And it's all
Mhm.
a strategy, right? Um,
Mhm.
when you're hosting a event, another thing that I did was, because early 2000s,
Mhm.
me and another lady, we hosted educational seminars for
Mhm.
CEUs for respiratory therapists and nurses.
Cool.
Yes, because I'm a respiratory therapist. Been one for over 20 something
Oh,
years.
I didn't even know that. Wow,
Yes,
girl.
I have all kinds of tricks in my bag. So I'm a healthcare junkie, just like you,
Yay.
girl. So we hosted seminars, and
Mhm.
from obtaining the right physicians to speak and the right industry
Mm.
leaders to the vendors to the menu, um, and the swag that they would get. I've been to enough CEU seminars in person. Back in the day, you had to go in person. It was
Yeah.
not virtual.
Yeah.
So I went to enough of those to know what I like, what I don't like,
Mhm.
right? So that gave me just like it was like a building block to the ideas that I
Mhm.
have, right? And
Mhm.
do's and don'ts. Because you know exactly what you want. And you could tell
Mhm.
by people's faces when they sit in the
Mhm.
seats, like, oh my gosh, I'm boring. I never want someone to sit in a seat and be bored.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
never want that. You want them always engaged. And so it's even as simple as the structure of your itinerary that makes a huge difference, right?
Mhm.
You have filler spaces. I could go on and on, but it's so much. It's so much.
No, I love that because that is so. Couple things about what you just said.
Yeah.
So I didn't know you were a respiratory therapist. That's amazing. Cause girl, every time I'd be working on somebody, I'd be like, okay, we need to call respiratory because I'm
Yeah.
not about to mess with this. I said,
Yeah.
I know where I'm good at, and I always just let respiratory do what respiratory does because that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And the other thing I was thinking of, so I'm a nursing professor. I teach at Cleveland State. And so I'm always like I get a range of students. Like I get beginner, like very first year students, and then I get like the ones that are getting ready to graduate. And it doesn't matter like what level I get them, but I always make sure to teach them about entrepreneurship, point blank. Like you need to have something for yourself. You can't depend on a hospital, nobody else
Yes.
to give you a job to pay you. Like you got to have something in your back pocket. And so I'm always, oh, since I learned about it, because no, when I was in school, nobody ever talked to us
No.
about it, never knew
Yeah.
about it, nothing. So I make sure that I teach them about it. And I just thought about what a great idea that could be for nurses who are very into throwing parties and doing stuff like that. That could be an amazing business for a nurse. So if you're a nurse and you're listening to this, or you got a kid that's going to be a nurse or in school, please, this is something legit. Look at Opal right here.
Yes.
This is something, and you can make so much money
You
doing this.
can. You
You
can.
can make so much money.
You can. It was very prosperous. Our first
Mhm.
event, we invited, I believe, 150 nurses, combined nurses and respiratory therapists. And our first
Mhm.
event, we in the seat was 75 people, which was
Mm.
amazing.
Mhm.
Never done it before, but I knew the structure of how to host an event.
Mhm.
And it's all about, like I said, your speakers,
Mhm.
what you're gonna have there. You definitely have to market it, and you're
Mhm.
competing, guys, with these virtual events. But
Mhm.
when you create an elevated experience and you make it like a FOMO situation,
Mhm.
they're gonna want to come, right? Because we
Mhm.
want to learn as healthcare providers. You want to learn the new. I mean, healthcare is forever changing. There's always something new. It's dynamic, right?
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
forever changing. So it's so much that goes into it. But I think that it is. It was literally my first business. It was my
Mhm.
first business, and I had a partner. She was a respiratory therapist as well, and it was called Lifesavers Educational Services.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, and we
Oh.
did educational seminars and we did CPR training, and you can always ACLS, guys.
Mhm.
That yeah. So if you are a healthcare provider, now let me tell you this: I made all the mistakes for you guys. let me just say this. I made all the mistakes, okay? From creating little BS flyers to, I mean, I look back and I'm like, how do we even make
We
money?
all start somewhere.
Yes. And I'm like, I made money, but this was some BS. Like it wasn't even structured right. So, so it's guys, it's great if you want to start this business, but you definitely need a mentor
Mhm,
to set it up right and to create an
mhm,
experience because it's so many people
mhm,
that's in this space, right? So you have
mhm.
to set yourself apart. So you definitely want to hire a mentor to help you. I would not go into that blindly.
Yeah, I have to second that. I have to second having a mentor for so many things in your life. You really do. You really do. And we're two grown women telling you, you need somebody to tell you what to do.
Yes, yes. I
You
take
really
it. I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, you really do. And that's one of the things that I love about having a mentor so much is, and I think too once you get to a certain point, you really do value like saving time, saving money, saving effort, and you care about your reputation and you care about what people think about you. You really do. And so when you have a mentor, there's somebody that can speed up the process, show you exactly how to do it because they done made all the mistakes themselves, you know
Yes.
yeah, it's like the same thing with me. I have so many like students and even like other like people going for their doctorate and stuff like that. They're constantly hitting me up because I've been down that road. I hit all the bumps along the way. So
Yes.
I know the things that like this is what you got to do. Like don't like for example, like students when they're getting ready to like they are so worried about getting their first nursing job and I'm like, "Bro, you haven't even passed your test yet. You just got to pass
Right.
the test first. Like pass the test first, then you can worry about your first job." So
Yes.
it's stuff like that that a mentor can really just focus you in on and give you some reality checks like this is what you really should be focusing on. And and when it comes to more elevated experiences like that and where you're investing a lot of money to have a really great result, it's something that you're going to be sticking around with. You need to have
Yes.
somebody.
Well, yeah, because I see, you know, if your branding is luxurious, Lux brand, I'm this, I'm that,
Mhm,
I travel, blah, blah, blah. But then and I see this on the internet space, on the social
mhm,
media webs,
uh-huh.
you're hosting a brunch with a plastic tablecloth with paper plates and dishes that don't match. It's not organized. You don't have any gifts for your guests.
Mhm,
Um, you don't have the proper photographer there or videographer there to capture the moment because you want it
mm,
at
mhm,
your events. Because how are people going to know, right?
mhm,
And you're just taking pictures with your iPhone camera,
mhm.
or have someone videoing you with the iPhone. That all matters.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't align with your brand. So for
Mhm,
me, if I want to come to one of your events and this is
mhm,
what I've seen, I'm not coming. I don't care how
mhm.
luxurious you say, but that doesn't speak elevated to me
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
at all.
Oh man, yeah. It don't matter how many times you use the L word,
Right?
the G word. It don't matter.
No, you're not fooling me. I'm not
Yeah.
fooled.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it's so funny. And it is. It's like people and that's the thing too, like, and that we both have, like, we're both experts in our area. So we see so much. And that's why I tell people, like, I look, I assess, like that's my superpower. Like I can fucking assess the shit out of something just by looking at it.
Yeah,
And but to most people, like they're just like, well, what are you looking at? Like, what do you see? And I'm like, I see a whole lot. I see a whole lot going on there. And but that's where and that's why you invest in that expertise because that's what you need. That's what you really
right,
need.
right.
And I love and that's one thing that you were speaking about, like a videographer and stuff like that. That's one area where I really want to up level this year too, is when I go to
Yes.
like speaking events and stuff, I want to have all that captured.
Yes. No,
All
yes.
of that captured.
You have to build your story,
Mhm.
and if you don't have these things in place,
Mhm.
literally you're going to get passed by. Someone that might have thought of, hey, I wanted to get with Dr. Alex, but I couldn't pay attention because the person with the phone was, you know, and so they couldn't think
Yeah.
about it. That's a
Mhm.
distraction. And
Yeah.
I mean, we're not professionals. I love you, Dr. Alex. Trust me, I would be at the event like this for you. I would, 'cause I know you're gonna drop some bomb information. However, I
Yeah.
might get excited and be like, "Oh, Dr. Alex," and look at this,
Yeah.
look at this, it's
Mhm.
everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So your video, you could try to edit it as
Mhm.
much as possible, but think about it. They're not gonna, they will not even receive the information, right?
Mhm.
So you need a professional that's there
Mhm.
to do the job, which is capture these amazing moments of you saying powerful words. They can put it
Mhm.
together. It's
Mhm.
just a better quality. And like you said, it's an elevated experience. It's leveling up, right?
Mhm.
And so
Exactly.
you got to do it. You got to do it for your brand, for your business.
Yeah, exactly. And what was I going to ask you? So we talked about video, and I think video is so powerful. And I know we both use video for our branding and our marketing and for what
Mhm.
we do. What else do you suggest for somebody besides video? What is another good thing that they should be really wanting to invest in as part of the experience?
So 100% get you a photographer, but not just any photographer. You need a branding photographer because they're going to
Mhm.
know how to direct you. Now, I do help clients with it's a production. Let's just say that. It's a production from the hair to the makeup um to the way you sit, how you sit, the angles and it's a complete the wardrobe, what does it speak? What does it say? Is it on brand?
Mhm.
um, you definitely get someone that can help you with that.
Mhm.
But number one, you need a photographer that's just not, um, God, this sounds so bad, but just used to taking graduation pictures, right?
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You want someone that's used to, because I'm trying to remember who it is. I might remember and type this in later, but there's a photographer. There's a couple of
Mhm.
photographers that are do branding photo shoots, right?
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
So, and it's a whole vision. When I did my pictures came out phenomenal.
Me
Trisha
too.
is amazing,
Me
right?
too.
My makeup was on point, my nail, everything, right? But it was a storyboard that I created,
Mm.
right? It was
Mhm.
more than that's how that product was, and that's
Mhm.
about the experience, right? It's about
Mhm.
elevating the experience, not just throwing shit together and excuse
Right.
my language, but
Oh,
just not throwing shit together and hoping
uh-huh.
it just come out right, right?
Yeah.
I had a true storyboard and a
Mhm.
vision for the shoot and what I wanted to present to my clients
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
people that were thinking about investing into my program.
Mhm.
So it was looking at all these things and how many shots I needed at this angle for this particular for say for a website. I want to have words here, so I need to have this much. It's just different things that go into it, right?
Mhm.
So you need a professional, okay?
Mhm.
I understand, guys, that your cousin is in school for photography. I get it. I get it. It's
Mhm.
easy access to a friend.
Mhm.
However, you want someone that has the experience of doing this. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, because I'm not knocking anyone starting out, because some
Right.
people have great eyes. But you need to be a little bit more mindful because
Mhm.
I never forget this. Is so funny when I start working with Linda. We both work with Linda,
Uh-huh.
and she was like, "Girl, you got to get rid of those iPhone pictures." And I knew this, but I was so resistant when I first started working with her.
Um,
I was a little resistant, but however, I did that. I did
mhm.
a branding shoot, and I was very
Mhm.
thankful for the outcome. And I was it's thought into it. It's a whole strategy
Mhm.
behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I had my first one. I had my first
Yes.
one a couple months ago, and I'm getting ready to have my next one because yeah,
Yes.
I gotta keep it going with that. And yeah, I'm
Yes.
so excited for it. And I'm definitely approaching it differently this
Good.
time. than I
Yes.
did the first time, right? You always learn as you go along. That was like the first time I ever did. And I was like, okay, I know what I liked and what I didn't like. And so I'm
Right.
going to do something different for this one. And it just makes me more mindful too of like going ahead for this year, because I was thinking about things that I want, like I want to do speaking events. And at some point, I haven't put a date on it yet, but I want to have like an in-person retreat, like a wellness day. Like I want to have that. And it's like, you got to plan, because
Yeah.
it's not anything to play with, and I want to make sure that it's the best that it can be. So I'm so excited about that, and that's why I love watching your page and learning from you so much. I really do. I
Thank
somewhat
you.
stalk you.
Oh, I, that warms my heart because people, we need to hear that,
Yeah,
we do,
yeah.
we do. So thank you, and I appreciate you saying that.
Mhm.
And that's what it's there for. I want people to learn. I
Mhm.
want people to grow. So, and I'm here for you
I
if you
know.
need me. Um, we'll talk offline. But anyway, yes, no, it's crazy. If people, you can go to your favorite person that you've been watching, right?
Mhm.
And if their content and the things that they're doing are the same from last year, you might not
Mhm.
want to watch them anymore because they might not be having any growth, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if you go to my Facebook page, so if you guys friend request me or just go because my
Yeah.
page is open and public, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
If you look, just you can go back a year, you can go back
Mhm.
2 years if you want. The level up is because I know what I'm more focused on what I want, what and
Mhm.
more niche down into my area, right? This
Mhm.
is the crap that I wake up and get excited about.
Yeah.
I get really excited about it. So, but yes, I was thank you, Alex. I appreciate
Yeah. Oh, no, you're so welcome. Yeah,
it.
and I think that's such an important thing too. I think people think that they have to look a certain way like all the time, and like they have to come out the gate, and I'm like, you're a person, like you're going to change, you're going to
Mm,
evolve, you're going to grow. I think, and that's such a great point that you just brought up. Like if their shit looks the same, then what are they doing? Like what are they doing? You
right.
know, and you're going to change. Yeah, I know, like my stuff has changed so much, and I know
Yes.
um like when I first came out, like when I first started making videos, I think like almost 3 years ago, when I started like coming into the coaching space, I was doing things that were not health related. Even though I was in healthcare, I was doing nothing health related. I was doing things around like work life balance and time management, self discipline, because that's what everybody came to me about. They're like, well, Alice, you got 3 kids and you're in school and you're working all these jobs and you're doing clinical and residency. Like, how you do it? Like, and I was like
Right. Right.
in the best shape of my life. And they were like, how do you do this? So that's what I started making
Right.
content around and videos around. And then, but then I always found that everything always switched over to health. Everybody
Help.
started asking me health related questions. And I was like, oh, this is not what this is for. But I went with it. And then, so that's how I knew that I had to grow. I had to change. I had to evolve. And so that's kind of the direction that that's what I do now. So, yeah, I think that's a great point that you brought up. And I think for a lot of like entrepreneurs, especially, like you don't want people to see the struggle or see this other who you used to be or whatever. I'm like, but that's so much of who you are. Like
To yes, yes.
that's who
I
you are.
want you to see it. I want you to see it, and I want you to ask me about it if you're curious, because I'll tell you. I'm an open book. I will definitely tell you. It
Mm-hmm.
was horrible a couple of years ago. I stumbled,
Hmm.
but all of those, and that's why I said that earlier. Like I made all the mistakes for my clients.
Hmm.
That's what I tell them. Like you hired me because I'm gonna get you where you want to go in a short amount of time
Hmm.
because I stumbled and my first business was in 2000. The educational business was,
Hmm.
I believe, 2004. We're
Hmm.
in 2023.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I have tons of
Hmm.
fumbles. Let me
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I could create a list. So the up leveling and that helped me also
Hmm.
with figuring out the do's and don'ts of
Hmm.
experiences, right?
Hmm.
I had a lot of case studies, let me say that. That's what we're gonna call them, case studies. I had a lot of case studies.
Yeah.
And that that helped me become the businesswoman I am
Hmm.
today.
Mhm.
And I'm excited because I get to transfer that to my clients. And
Mhm.
hopefully, I have the opportunity to help them from making the same mistakes that I did,
Mhm.
because mistakes sometimes cost you big. And some of my mistakes have cost me big, and I don't want anyone to go through that.
Mhm. Oh, thank you. Well, I think that's a good place to kind of wrap things up, but I do want to know, what do you have coming up? Do you have anything exciting coming up that you'd like to tell everybody
Yes.
about?
So I was really clapping hard when you said something about a retreat. So I am. I will be hosting between the end of the second quarter and the third quarter of this year a
Mhm.
retreat. It's
Mm.
called the Ashanti Leadership Retreat.
Mm.
And the reason I chose the name Ashanti,
Mhm.
so in 2021, I went to Ghana, West Africa,
Mhm.
and I was in the Ashanti region. So I learned a lot about the Ashanti people, and their women were badasses. They were warriors. Okay. And
Mhm.
so I'm not going to get in too deep, but learning the history of the Ashanti women, for that region, they were so badass, and they were leaders. They're the leader of their tribe. They looked up to the women to do
Mm.
a lot, whether
Mhm.
it was not just what men think that we should do, but they
Mhm.
took charge and took lead in wars and battles. Right?
Mhm.
They were fierce, and so with this retreat, would like to invite people to come for healing, for
Mhm.
restoration, and to step into their leadership in
Mhm.
whatever area they're in. So the retreat will be in Austin, Texas. I'm
Mhm.
so excited about it. I'm only inviting 5 women with me. It's not a large retreat
Mhm.
because I want to spend time. I want to work on their business, make sure that every aspect of their business is elevated,
Mhm.
their experiences are tight. Their every process is set up and focused to what they want the outcome to be, but then
Mhm.
also to heal and to
Mhm.
restore. And
Mhm.
sometimes we just need to get away to reset.
Mhm.
And I know every time I travel, I enjoy sitting in the hotel room, just taking a deep breath, stretching and meditating and
Mhm.
resetting, right?
Mhm.
So I found this wonderful resort. It's gorgeous and I cannot wait.
Oh, wow. That sounds so amazing. I have all these like pictures in my head.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, it's gonna be amazing because it's
Yeah.
from the health and wellness standpoint. There's gonna
Mhm.
be, of course, some meditation involved, some yoga, so fitness instructor as well as a
Mhm.
dietitian
Mhm.
there. So all kind of things. There's
Yeah.
obstacle course to kind of,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
This is a big one for me, and I'm ready. I
Mhm.
only want 5 women
Yeah.
that are ready
Mhm.
to, they've been kind of teetering around, focusing.
Mhm.
You know how we kind of, oh, I'm gonna focus, and then a couple of months later we kind of
Mhm.
slide off. So
Yeah.
I want 5 women that are ready to take the
Ready to go.
plunge, right?
Mhm.
I and the outcome is you're gonna walk away with clarity, not only in your business but in your life.
Mhm.
You're gonna shed some things that you were scared of shedding and letting
Mhm.
go, which is gonna make room for your success. So I'm you're gonna do crap that you probably never done. I'm a Texas girl. This is in Texas. That's why I wanted it in Texas. I want people to experience. I'm a true Texas girl. Okay.
Mhm. I love it. I love it. So, oh my gosh. So is this going to be private invite only then?
Yes.
Oh.
I will consider opening it up to
Mhm.
people on my Facebook, but I have some private invitations that I'm going to
Mhm.
extend to
Mhm.
some women that I feel like they're in a position to receive it.
Mm.
But however, there's still an application process because
Right.
everybody can't come, and you have to check all the boxes. Sorry,
Ooh. Mm.
I'm creating
That,
the space.
exactly. Exactly. And you know that is such a huge part of it too, is who is there And do you have the right people there? That's a huge part of it.
Yes. I know we didn't talk about this, but girl,
Yeah.
I had a brunch with 6 women in the room that I personally invited, and I had a whole strategy of past clients, new clients, um, potential clients, and I closed a
Mhm.
$20,000 sale in that room.
Uh, uh,
So
uh.
it matters who you invite,
Mhm.
okay?
Yes,
Just saying.
yes. Oh, yeah, that definitely is another topic for another show. That is awesome because
Okay.
that is that's a huge part of the strategy. People think, oh, it's just a pretty event and blah blah blah, but there's a reason behind it. There's
Yes,
such a reason behind it. So
yes,
I
yes,
love
yes,
that.
yes.
So, and you know what else we didn't talk about too that I would love to bring you on again to talk about is a lot of that work that you did do in Ghana and
Oh,
a lot of that work as well. Because I know for you and I, when we were working with Linda, we had kind of talked about the why behind our business and our purpose and why we were doing things. And for me, that was a newer thing that I had never even really thought of because my business is newer. So I hadn't really thought too much about it. But then we were messaging in Voxer and stuff, and then you were, sharing
yeah.
some of the things that you do, and then I saw some of your pictures and all of that. So I think it's so beautiful and
Thank
such
you.
another aspect to all of that I would definitely love to explore some more.
Yeah.
So,
Just hit me up. I'm available.
oh. All
Yeah.
right, girl. Any parting words for our lovely audience today?
Okay, guys, today I just want to say a thought for today, okay?
Mhm.
Not and this will transfer from your business to your life. Let it go, okay?
Mm,
Let it go. Whatever's been bothering you, it's the start of the new year. It is the fourth day of the year. We have, after today, we have 361 days left. So you want to make the most of it. So do not stress
mhm.
yourself about stuff that's out of your control, and just walk around with a smile on your face, even when you don't feel like it. Because sometimes when you put that smile on, you can't help but warm your own heart, right? To
Oh,
see yourself smile. So
yeah.
that's my thought of the day.
Oh, I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys. And that's all I have for today, too. So catch us on Friday with a new guest. And this is streaming, it's going to be audio podcast as well. We're putting it to all the places. So,
Yes.
all right, Miss Opal, I appreciate you, Mama. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Love you. And for everybody watching, thank you. Feel free again, drop any questions in the chat. We'll be sure to get back to you. And like I always say, for a balanced life, just add spice. We'll see you for the next show.
Yes.
Bye.